my God. Okay, we're gonna get it started, man. Yeah, no audio. Figured. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the Life of Champ podcast, episode 120. For today's episode, we're going to be discussing an interesting topic for sure. The topic for today's podcast is provide value or provide venom. So you got to figure out specifically which one you want to go ahead and provide. A few things I want to mention before I go and get it started. Make sure you go and follow me on TikTok, just Life of Champ podcast on TikTok, as well as make sure you go ahead and follow me on um, also on Rumble, Life of Champ podcast on Rumble. If you know what Rumble is, make sure you go and tap in right there. I have all my videos that I posted on YouTube also on Rumble as well. Other than that, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on my YouTube shorts as well as my YouTube clips that I'll be posting very, very soon. Make sure you go and tap in with those for sure. Other than that, yeah, I think we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get into it, man. So today's topic, like I had mentioned, provide value or provide venom, right? The reason why I wanted to make this podcast is because I got inspiration from another podcast. The podcast had this guy named Zeb from the Minorities. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. I was able to extract a lot out of this podcast, and it also gave me a lot of ideas from this own podcast. So very, very thankful for that. But one thing that I wanted to reference off of this topic is how, unfortunately, society has this. How would I like to describe it? Society thinks that it's providing value in certain aspects, but in reality, it's providing an underlying venom, right? So, for example, there's a lot of things that society likes to go ahead and spew out that have absolutely no true value when it comes to improving your life or, even affecting your life at all, really. So, for example, they'll give you a lot of news on celebrities that you'll never meet that actually do not even know of your existence that realistically in the grand scheme of life is providing absolutely nothing, providing no value, right? And this is interesting because what you must observe from this thing that society does so frequently is that it's not necessarily a good input to have. So I'll give you some background, right? So inputs are going to be anything that you consume intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously. There's going to be things that you consume, period, right? Whether you consume through reading, whether you consume through listening, whether you consume through your subconscious mind, whether you consume through whatever, right? These are going to be all inputs. Everything is an input. You watching this podcast is an input. The music you'll listen to later on in the day is going to be an input. You watching basketball later on is going to be an input, right? Now, you must be very, very careful with the inputs that you allow society to give you, right? Like I'd mentioned, right? A lot of these inputs that they give you have absolutely no context and no true value in your life. So is it even worth consuming that content? You must evaluate that. You must evaluate that very, very thoroughly. And yeah, yeah. Like I said, the society is going to provide you with a lot of things that, like I had mentioned, it's gonna be value. It's gonna be venom. It's not. There's no value, man. There's no value. There's no value. There's no real tangible reason for you to even be consuming that certain type of content. But yet, it's still gonna be portrayed a certain way, like it's almost a necessity to know these things. And also, which is very, very funny observation. If you don't know it, you're gonna be like, oh, you're out of the know, right? People are going to be so convinced that you don't know these certain things that they're going to question your own, like whether you've been living under a rock or something like that, right? Like, you seriously, you didn't know that? Like, oh yeah, we already knew that. Like, when in reality it doesn't affect either of your guys' life, and like I said, has no value, truly no value. Like I said, society gives you this illusion, and it's going to do this through a lot of different things. It's going to give you the illusion that these things are actually relevant to your life, when in reality they have no substance, they have no true value, they have no meaning in your own life. So therefore, is it even worth consuming, right? Is it even worth paying attention to? Is it even worth thinking about? Period, right? You must evaluate that very, very thoroughly. Also, one thing I want to mention is when it comes to the opposite of this, right? The opposite of providing venom is providing value, right? You must be a person who stands out by truly providing as much value as you can in this life. This is going to be to people that you meet, people that you won't meet, people that you could meet. You want to be able to provide value. This is something that I've done very, very thoroughly on this podcast. Like I said, fellas, 120 episodes deep. I'm definitely proud of that. But the thing that I'm most proud of is being able to provide value on a constant basis, whether people consume it or don't consume it. Nonetheless, it's going to be providing value. And I like I said, at the very least, if I can help one person out, I'm fulfilling my purpose, man. Ideally, I would like to, provide value to many different types of people, and I will do that. I will continue to do that, and won't stop until I do that. But be a person who truly is going to stand out by providing value, and more importantly, providing value is going to look different for every single person, right? There's certain things, there's certain tangible piece of advice that I would give out on this podcast that's going to apply to some people's lives and it's not going to apply to other people's lives, right? So you must understand that people are going to have certain issues that you might need to resolve, which you provide value, and by you providing value, you are solving those problems. Or yeah, I would say yeah, you do it through. Give me a second, hold up, man. I just wrote about this. Oh my God, give me a second. Give me a second, man. Yeah. Like I said, that's pretty much going to be the foundation of it, right? You're going to be able to provide value by solving other people's problems, or you can provide value by being entertaining, which is something I'll get into very, very soon here. But yeah, you're going to need to evaluate the needs of that person and also evaluate the problems that this person has, and you need to be able to be a person that fulfills this by providing value, right? Sadly, I've noticed this, right? There's not that many people in existence right now that truly provide a lot of value. I would say maybe 1% of the entire population is able to provide a substantial amount of value to the people that are in need of it, right? And I also do believe that there's people that provide value. Um, they can provide value to a lot more people, but they, for whatever reason, do not provide enough value or provide value to the people that they're trying to provide value to. I'll say that as well. So be a person that is going to be able to provide value in a way that is going to be hopefully different than some people that provide value, but at the very least, you want to provide value and also get it out to as many people as you possibly can. That is why I've chosen the route with this podcast. And now this is going to look different for every single person. I'm not saying that, if you don't do it and if you don't maximize the opportunity, that you're wasting your life, right? There's some people that are meant to, have social media platforms and some people that aren't, right? But if you're a person that chooses not to, which is completely fine, you're going to need to provide value the best way you possibly can, whether this is the interactions you have on a daily basis or whether this is somehow, some way, um, at the very least, being a listening ear that somebody can go ahead and fall back on if they need, and that would be providing value, right? Like I said, value can be comfort, value can be some guidance, value can be it's going to be a lot of different things. There's going to be a lot of different ways to go ahead and provide value. You can provide value through a service, right? There's a lot of ways that you can provide value, but you must be a person that is not providing venom, right? And of course, venom's going to look different to every single person as well, just as value is going to look different from every single person, right? So I'll give you some of the basic things that are going to be venom, right? Providing venom is going to look like maybe like I said, steering a person in the wrong direction, right? Based off of that person, maybe this person is a young person. Maybe you're not giving them the best advice, or maybe you're not. Um, Maybe you're allowing them to indulge in certain things that they shouldn't be indulging in. That's going to be providing value, or letting them indulge. And also providing value, I think, is going to be. It's going to look in the form. This is going to be different. This is going to be different right here. So, I do believe providing venom is also going to look like knowing the solution to somebody's problem and still not willing to help them out. You observably seeing somebody struggle and you not providing value to them that you can do is providing venom to them unconsciously. Like I said, a lot of people would say, you know what, you're not really doing anything. You're not helping, you're not hurting. But I feel like if you have the opportunity to help and you decide not to, you're definitely hurting, right? So that is going to be a different way you can also provide venom. But there's too many people out here that providing venom, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man. There's too many people providing venom. You need to be different, and you need to stand out by providing value. You need to provide value in such a way that it is truly going to affect the ones around you, right? Like I said, this is something that I've decided to do because this is fulfilling my life's purpose, right? and I will continue to do this for the rest of my existence because what other better existence is there than providing value to the ones that need it? Like I don't understand, right? Um, Give me one second, man. I want to go back on this point when it comes to providing value, man. You need to be able to adapt your ability to go ahead and provide value. Like I said, based on this person's needs or based on the problems that this person has, right? Everybody needs value. What you must realize is this. Every single person that you will encounter in this life is in need of value, is in wants value and is in need of value, right? Now, you must determine specifically what type of value you can bring to this person. And of course, there's going to be certain people that you truly cannot provide value to, right? Maybe they're just past that. And also, it depends on the wisdom that you also have, right? If you're a younger person, the likelihood that you're able to provide value to somebody who's lived maybe twice your life is going to be low. But maybe you're a person that has a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience, and you're able to go ahead and still provide value to those people who are going to be much older than you. But like I said, you must be able to be adaptable. You must be able to uh, need to be providing their need, providing and fulfilling their needs based on whatever those things are. Right? Like I said, you must customize this depending on the person that you're dealing with. But I would say the people who do the best with this are the most adaptable, right? They know how to cater their message to who they're talking to, right? And to be receptive in a way. So, let's just say for example, who's a good person at providing value? There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people good at providing value. I'll say Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's a good person when it comes to providing value. He's a person who is an inspiration, or who can be an inspiration. He's a person who gives back to his community. He's a person that provides entertainment value, which you know we'll get into that later. But he's a person that objectively, provides value. He's a person that is the face of many brands. He provides value. I'll say that, right? He's a good example of that. Now, one thing I want to mention with providing entertainment value. This is something that is going to be a controversial take, but I don't care because this is something that needs to be mentioned. And this is something that I would say I'm a victim of as well, right? Unfortunately, which I'll get into that. So, with providing Venom, the one of the biggest issues of Venom, right? At least, like I said, this is going to be my own perception of Venom, right? So, one of society's biggest issues is the overindulgence within entertainment. It is one of the most underlying venomous things that exists within today's society. Like I said, it gives you the illusion that it's actually providing you value to your life, when in reality, all it's doing is giving you a temporary feeling that is not going to better your life. That is just going to leave you with maybe a few laughs. And now, I'm not to say that laughs aren't valuable. Of course, laughs are valuable. But at the same time, I do believe that if you were looking to try to better your life in a better way, in a different way, you're probably going to need to take that route, as opposed to just consuming things for entertainment, right? See, I'm not a person, and like I said, I also recognize that I'm an anomaly with this, right? I'm not a person that consumes a lot of entertainment, right? Of course, I have my own vices when it comes to entertainment. I'll go ahead and let you know, like, one of them, and I would say, if I could go back in time and do it over again and not have this attachment, I would. But unfortunately, I'm just living the life. And I do believe that if I want to live my best life right now, instead of stopping that, I want to say I would continue this. And this is going to be one of the biggest entertainment things that does exist, and this is going to be sports, right? A lot of men find very very high interest within this, and I will say that it is still Venom. It's still unfortunately Venom, right? Because it's not really contributing anything positive to your life. It'll give you some positive laughs. It'll give you some positive feelings for whatever reason. It'll also give you a lot of negatives as well, depending on who your team is, right? I've been a Phoenix Suns fan and Arizona fan for a minute now, so unfortunately, it's definitely left me with a lot of negative feelings. But nonetheless, I will say the meta point that I have is Venom's gonna look. One of the biggest things when it comes to providing Venom is um, the underlying venomous nature of entertainment. Entertainment giving you the illusion that it's actually going to give you some type of value. And I would say, now, entertainment value is one thing, but entertainment value in the hierarchy of values it's at the bottom. Yes, it gives you value, but at the same time, does it give you value? Ask the question for yourself. And I would say, unfortunately, it doesn't. Right now, and is entertainment needed in this life? Of course, it's needed. Right now, is it as needed as some other things? Right, when it comes to the value, I would say definitely not. Right, if you could live your life without, I would say without entertainment. Right, if you could switch your what you view entertainment to be and work it in your favor, it can definitely be very, very beneficial to you, right? So one of the things that I will say is entertainment for me, and this is going to be ever since I started my self development journey about 5 years ago. Educational content, whether this is videos, whether this is books, these are things that are going to be entertainment to me, right? This is something that I switched and catered to my own self in order to better my own self, right? I found value, not only value, not only value that I can consume and go ahead and use in this life, but also value entertainment wise with educational content, right? Now, this is not going to be something that everybody can do. This is something that I've been able to do. Very, very good. Very, very thorough, I would say. So, with that being said, make sure you're a person that, if you're going to go ahead and use entertainment value or consume a lot of entertainment value, at the very least, you better hope it's at least somewhat educational, right? And not all the time it's not going to be educational. I'm going to let you know that right now. For me personally, it's not always educational, right? But yeah, when I say entertainment being one of the like most underlying venomous things in today's society, I want to say things like TV shows, and you can see pointless videos, pointless streamers, pointless TV shows, pointless movies. That's what I'm gonna say. Now, like I said, people are gonna hate on that. I don't care, man. I don't care. All I'm gonna say is, you could be better using your time somewhere else. That's all I'm gonna say, right? I'm not a person who consumes too much bullshit content. I'm not. I'm not a person who consumes. I don't watch movies often unless it's with people, right? Very, very far and few between. I maybe watch maybe 10 movies a year, something like that. Where I actually sit down and actually watch an entire movie, about 10 movies a year. Um, I don't watch any shows. I've never been the type to watch shows. If you're a person who gets off to watching shows and oh yeah, what's gonna be the new show I watch? You're wasting your fucking time, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. You're wasting your time. You're providing yourself with Venom. You're providing yourself with entertainment. In return, you're providing yourself with Venom, nonetheless. So I'm low key kind of bashing these things, but like I said, I personally do not do them myself, and I'm personally not going to recommend them to people. So, like I said, entertainment in itself is going to be Venom, right? Now, how much Venom are you willing to take, and can you realistically get rid of a lot of the Venom that you consume? You definitely can. So, make the adjustment if you see the adjustment needs to be made, and it's as simple as that, right? And one thing I want to mention with this as well, man. This is the biggest point when it comes to the entertainment value, man, or the entertainment value, right? This is going to be the simple observation that I've made over my years and years of watching people being entertained, right? People throw away all of their potential and ruin their lives just to be entertained. People in society right now, they value entertainment too much. Like I said, I'm going to say this one more time. People throw away all of their potential and ruin their lives just to be entertained. That's not no way to live, man. That's not no way to live. Yeah, should you be entertained to an extent? Yes. Okay, fine. But at the cost of most people, it's absolutely pointless, man. It's absolutely pointless for you to be going ahead and literally throwing away your potential, throwing away your lives just so you can get an extra laugh, just so you can get some weirdly good feeling by watching something that doesn't do anything for you, right? Do not be one of these people. I've seen it too many times where people will indulge within certain habits and activities just for their entertainment, and then they never take life actually serious, right? So one of these things I will say is gonna fall into the venom. The venom is going to be video games as well, right? A lot of people will hate me saying that, but they only hate me saying that because they know it's true, and they're probably a victim of this. If you hate what I have to say when it comes to venom or entertainment in the form of video games, right? Um, yeah, do not be a person who throws away all their potential and wastes all their time and ruins their life just because they want to play video games. Do not be one of these people because it's not worth it. you will live with regret, right? Is there good times to be had playing video games? Of course, right? I love playing video games back in my day, and back in my days 3 years ago, right? But at the same time, I recognize what is more meaningful, right? And it is providing value and it's consuming value. Those are going to be the two most important things in this life. Now, with this being said, like I said, do not be a person who's gonna be looking back in their life and saying, "Man, I wish I would have spent my time more efficiently. I wish I could have stayed away from this entertainment right now feels good, but I know for damn sure I'm destined for more." Right? Do not be one of those people, man. Like I said, it all goes back to the podcast that I made a few weeks ago. What you want versus what you want to want. What you want right now is to be entertained. What you want is to actually consume something that is going to provide you value, right? It's as simple as that, man. True value, not just entertainment value. But if you're a person who makes content, entertaining content, do you at the end of the day, you're providing value, right? Could you be providing more value? Of course, you'd be providing more value. But do you, man? Do you? If you're a person watching this, whether you're watching this live or rewatching this, I want you to go and leave a comment just so I can see who's in here, and also I want to know your guys' takes on today's topic. Right? Are you a person who's consuming more value, or are you consuming more venom? Are you providing venom, or are you providing value? How much venom are you providing, and how much value are you providing? I want you guys to go and answer that question in the comments. But like I said, man, I just see too many people, man. Too many people that are just wasting life, man. I'm sick of seeing it, man. I'm sick of seeing it, man. It's not good, man. It's not good. It's not good for society. It's not good for the future, man. It's not. One point I want to reiterate, man. You must be conscious of the inputs you decide to consume and also conscious of the inputs that you're forced to consume. Now, everybody in this life should be conscious of the things that they consume. You should not be consuming anything you don't want to consume unless you're forced to consume it, right? There are very few things that you're forced to consume in this life, right? Let me go back on that. There's actually a lot of things that you're forced to consume in this life. I would say, me just going to work and me hearing the conversations that people have, or me listening to the music that's automatically on at work. Automatically, that is input that I choose, that I would more than likely choose to not hear, but unfortunately, I do have to hear it. That's gonna fall into the content or the inputs that you are forced to consume. Right now, there's going to be a lot more power when you have your own free time, and you must be very, very conscious and very, very selective about the certain things that you go ahead and consume, because those things, when you have your own free time, how you choose to spend your time, what you choose to consume is going to dictate your future. Period. Doesn't matter what you say. That is a simple fact, man. That is a simple fact. How you decide to use your time, how you decide to consume certain inputs will dictate your future. So if you're a person who's not doing the best and who's consuming and providing venom, of course your life's not going to be as great as if you were consuming, intentionally conscious, a consumer of actual value and also providing value. Right? You must be conscious of these things, but yeah, it's going to be something that's kind of hard at first, but it should be something that eventually comes second nature. If you're a person who's sitting down all day not doing anything, consuming shit for no reason at all, hopefully you wake up one of these days, man. I wish the best for you, but you better hopefully wake up one of these days, man. I would say that I have been sliding into more value consuming and providing, because I used to watch YouTube all day, not knowing anything, and now I watch YouTube for valuable videos. Yes, right. I would say, still, what is it? Maybe like 90% of the content on YouTube is probably going to be useless. Maybe there's 10% that's maybe that's a little high, but I'll just say for the sake of this video, right? There's going to be 10% of maybe the videos on YouTube that's actually going to provide you value that is going to be catered to what your needs are and your problems are. I would say stick to those as much as you possibly can. Now, there's going to be plenty of times where of course, you're going to go ahead and consume entertainment. Fine, do that, but make sure you're at the very least conscious of what you're doing, and also not doing it as much as you once were doing it. Right? If you do that, you're going to be much better off than 99% of people, because 99% of people don't even know what the hell's going on. Let's keep it 1,000. So that's going to be my recommendation, man. If you can go ahead and take something away from that, you're going to be in a much better position, man. Man, I feel like I've been speaking a lot on this one, man. All right. So now I must ask you the question: are you providing value, or are you providing venom? Now, you could be providing value in the form of content. You can also be providing value in the form of helping people out, right? Helping people out in your actual life, right? Um, and also, like, let's just say you see somebody that has a problem. You could provide value by giving them the solution, right? Do not be a person who stands by and watches somebody suffer, knowing damn well you have all the answers already, knowing you have the solution to their problem, but you refuse to go ahead and provide the value, because if not, you're providing venom, because you could help that person out, right? Obviously, it depends on what the hell it is, but in the situations where you can go ahead and help people out, make sure you go ahead and help them out. A lot of people, very, very selfish people, they decide not to do these certain things. Now, I'm not going to recommend for you to be selfish. Like I said, if you have the solution to somebody's problem, make sure you go ahead and help them solve it, man. That is what the best person would do in that certain situation. So make sure you go ahead and do that. But ultimately, what it comes down to, you're going to be consuming and providing one of these things. Like I said, you're going to be either consuming, you can consume value, or you can consume venom. Also, you can provide venom, or you can provide value. Which one are you going to go ahead and do? Which things are you going to consume, and which things are you going to go ahead and provide? You must answer these questions. For me personally, I'm going to be providing and consuming as much value as I possibly can, because I don't see another way that you should live life. So, with this being said, make sure you steer clear of all the venomous things within today's society, because there is a lot of things. And also, make sure you go ahead and limit the amount of venom that you go ahead and provide to people. Right? Make sure you're doing what's in people's best interest, truly, right? By taking your own view of their life and also their view of their life into account, provide as much value as you possibly can, and also make sure you steer clear from providing from providing venom, because it is so easily you're so easily um, you can fall into providing venom unconsciously, right? So like I said, make sure you know who you're influencing, and make sure you're influencing them and being the best influence you possibly can. GDP, appreciate you for stopping by, my guy. But yeah, that's going to be today's topic. Like I said, I'll wait for some more comments, but ultimately, that's going to be the podcast for today. Like I said, you're either providing value or you're providing venom. And with that being said, make sure you go ahead and providing value, because unfortunately, not enough people are providing value. All right, give me 1 second. Also, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure you go ahead and leave me a follow. All right. Very good, very good. I'll give it a few more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and end this one off, fellas. But yeah, definitely a good topic, and I feel like more people should talk about these certain things, man, because um, I just see too many people being very, very unconscious of their actions. Do not be a person who just mindlessly consumes content. Don't be that person. And if you catch yourself doing this, make sure you go ahead and do something about it, because that's what you need to do. I see too many people living life unintentionally, right? They're constantly just scrolling on social media for hours and hours at a time, with no actual intent, right? You need to have intent with the actions that you go ahead and choose for your life. So make sure you are conscious, because a lot of people are not. Also, yeah, so that's pretty much what I have to say for today's podcast, man. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim of people providing venom. Um, yeah, like I said, I want to reiterate this, man. I want to reiterate this. Society gives you the illusion. I wanted to make a podcast straight dedicated to this topic, but I found a way to implement it within this one. But society gives you this illusion that you need to know certain things. That if you don't know certain things, you're living under a rock, right? But most of the things that society spews out is truly valueless to your own life. So if it's valueless to your own life, it is inevitably venomous, right? Because there's no need to consume that input, right? Like I mentioned, The illusion that society gives on certain things, right? I'm sure you could go ahead and picture some of these things for your own life, through what you consumed recently from society, right? Most of these things are valueless and venom full. So with that being said, make sure you go ahead and steer clear of these things as much as you possibly can. And also, next time you feel like the need to know something that truly doesn't affect your life, I want you to double take and take more time to think about if it's even worth consuming or not. Do not waste your time, do not waste your energy on certain things that are truly not meant to provide you any value, because at the end of the day it's just wasting your damn time. It's wasting your time. Um and you don't want your time wasted, you don't want your energy wasted, and more importantly, you don't want your brain power wasted, right? A lot of people downplay that, man. Your brain power, to be wasting it on Venom is so stupid, bro. It's so stupid. To be wasting your brain power on useless inputs that don't actually have any output is useless, man. It's just a waste of time, man. I've seen it too many times, man. But yeah, like I said, society is so good at making things seem like they're important when they're not. Most things that society spews out, not important. And when I say not important, I'm not saying not important to society. I'm saying not important to you, right? To you watching this right now. There's a lot of things that you consume on a daily basis that have nothing to do with your life. So therefore, when you think about it in the grand scheme of everything, right? Is it even worth consuming? Is it even worth knowing? Is it going to change your life really? Probably not. So it's not worth consuming. That's all I pretty much have to say with that. But yeah, be a person who stands out, man. Be a stand-up character. Be a person who's providing value, and the more value you consume, the more hopefully you can go ahead and provide. But like I said, you need to be one of these people that are stand-up people. Not enough people are providing value. Not enough people are providing true value. Maybe there's a lot of people are providing entertainment value, but those people should steer more in the direction of providing both. You can do that. You can do that. And hopefully I'm doing that on this podcast, and hopefully I continue to get better with this, where I'm providing value and also providing entertainment value, right? Instead of just providing venom, which is just entertainment value. Just entertainment value is not good enough, right? In the in society right now, with all the things that you could be potentially consuming, when you look at it, right? When you look at it objectively, there's so much good content that's out right now that has never been out at any time in human history. And with that being said, everything that you consume should be should provide value and provide entertainment, because you can get both. You can get both in this life. You can get both in this life. And when I say value, I mean value outside of entertainment value. You should steer clear, and I would say, like, I'm recommending this for everybody. Steer clear of things that just provide you entertainment. I'm gonna say that one more time. Steer clear of things that just provide you entertainment. Because if it just provides you entertainment, in reality, it's providing you just venom. And like I mentioned, you should be consuming things with intention. If you want something that's entertaining, hopefully you can find something that's actually providing value outside of entertainment, and then consume that, because that is worthy. So, for example, right now, this is going to be an interesting take. Like I said, this is going to be my own version of being intentional, right? So, for example, right, I watch basketball, right? This is something that is one of my vices, sure, right? It is going to be one of the things that could be just entertaining, right? Now, the way that I see basketball, right? The way that I watch basketball is I look for opportunities for it to provide value to me. So, for example, one of my favorite examples, right? I consume basketball for entertainment, but I also consume it to get inspired. There's a lot of inspiring figures within basketball. Basketball is something that has been of my interest for as long as I could remember, and seeing people, thrive and also develop their characters along with that, and also going through trials and tribulations and um, finding their value, finding their purpose. I find very, very much value from that, right? I get inspired by those certain things. I'm inspired by certain basketball players and certain athletes, because that is something that I strive towards. being, right, as being the best athlete that I possibly can. As also being a person that is just developing their character through their purpose, fulfilling their purpose, right? So some people just watch basketball just to watch basketball. I watch basketball with more of a valuable foundation, right? So that's just the way that I see it, right? Of course, you could say, "Oh, you're exaggerating," right? I'm really not. I'm really not. That's something that I truly consume it for, but obviously most of it is entertainment. But like I said, you must consume, and you can do this. Like I mentioned, people need to be aware of this. If you're gonna consume entertainment, hopefully there's some value to be truly extracted out of that. Besides entertainment value, that's all I gotta say. Yeah, one thing I want to mention as well: value in Venom is going to be subjective to the person. Now, you must be conscious enough to evaluate whether this person views this certain thing as value or views it as venom, right? Value is going to look different to people because certain people need certain things and other people don't need certain things, right? Venom's going to look different to certain people because sometimes people can live without certain things, and sometimes people can, um, yeah, people are gonna view Venom differently, right? I view Venom much differently than the next person views Venom, but with that being said, now when it comes to providing value or providing Venom, like I said, it's just going to be subjective to the person that you're providing anything towards, right? So if I'm a person who if I'm a person that's trying to provide value to somebody that needs help, I can either make the problem bigger for them, which would be providing value or providing Venom, or I can help them solve their own problem. Yes, sir, Jack. Appreciate you for stopping by, my man. Man, good to see you, man. Good to see you, man. Hopefully, we can get you on the podcast, man, because people need it, man. Appreciate you for stopping by, though. But yeah, ultimately, I'm about to go ahead and end this podcast off here soon. But like I said, the meta point of this entire podcast is you can either provide value or provide venom. Now, you must be very, very conscious whether you're providing value or providing venom. And like I said, it's going to be subjective to the person that you go ahead and provide it to. Also, with this being said, you can also consume value or you can consume venom, right? Make sure you steer clear from consuming venom because too many people consume venom, consciously or unconsciously. Yeah, definitely, Jack. I'm definitely about it, man. But yeah, that's gonna be the podcast for today. Like I said, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. Make sure to go and leave a like on the video as well as leave me a follow if you haven't already followed me. Make sure you go ahead and tap in with the next podcast that's gonna be on Thursday. I'm definitely looking forward to that one as well. Other than that, I'll leave you guys off with the podcast motto. Fellas out here, man, we don't just work around here, man. We outwork. So make sure y'all working these motherfuckers every single day because you know I am. Come on now. You already know what time it is. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, hopefully you guys took some value from this. If you're rewatching this or watching this live, I want you to go and leave me a comment just to see if this actually provided value to you. And other than that, this was episode 120 of the Life of Champ podcast talking about providing value or providing venom. So hope you guys have a good rest of your night. And like I said, make sure you go ahead and tap in for the next podcast on Thursday. Yeah, definitely looking forward to Thursday. So make sure you go and tap in, man. Y'all have a good night. And like I said, until Thursday.